Hello, welcome to Aura Amy Yoga. My name is Amy and today we will be doing a class focused on getting moving, helping if you are sore, getting moving some of the lactic acid you may have built up in your body. So with me today, please come onto your mat and start in a child's pose. This will be on our knees. So please bring your big toes together towards the end of your mat, knees out to the side, palms stretched out towards the top of your mat and resting your forehead on your mat. We will begin our class with some centering breaths. So inhale for 1, 2, 3, hold at the top, and exhale for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, hold, and exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, deep belly, 1, 2, 3, fill all the way up, hold at the top, and exhale for 3, 2, and 1. Continue to breathe at your own pace here. Can you feel your chest expanding all the way with your lungs filling up? And your chest caving in with your exhale as you push all the air out. Begin to bring some attention to the parts of your body that are making contact with your mat, such as the tops of your feet, your shins, your knees, your forehead, your elbows, and your forearms, the center of your palm, all the way out to your fingertips. And can you feel those areas sink deeper into your mat as you continue to take some deep breaths here? I encourage you to practice mindfulness throughout this class, which looks like keeping your attention on your breath, thinking about inhaling and thinking about your exhale. And if at any point you notice that your thoughts have drifted somewhere else, all you have to do is simply think back to your inhale and your exhale. And I encourage you to meet yourself with compassion here, as it is the mind's tendency to wander off, and our practice is to simply bring it back. We're going to add some movement. So on your next inhale, plant your left hand on top of your right hand to add a side stretch into our left side body. Breathing here, try to imagine pulling your left hip as far away from your left palm as you can. Take one more deep breath and exhale. On your next inhale, replant your left palm and simply plant your right palm on top of your left hand for the right side body. And once again, imagine your right hip being pulled as far away from your right palm. Take one more deep breath in and exhale. Replant both of your hands on your mat. Push yourself up to a tabletop position. Readjust yourself so that your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders and your hips are directly on top of your knee. And we're going to drop our belly and gaze up for a cow. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin for a cat, pushing through the tops of your feet. Inhale and drop the belly, gaze up. And exhale, pushing through your hands, rounding your spine, tucking your pelvis in towards your belly button. Let's find a cow. Inhale. Exhale for cat. Continue this at your own pace. remembering to articulate every vertebrae of your spine and linking your movement with your breath. I encourage you to try to soften off the transitions in between the inhale and the exhale. And I invite you to maybe find some other movements in this cat and cow, adding a circle element while staying with your breath. Really, whatever suits you in this moment. After your next exhale, return to a neutral spine and extend your right leg out. Inhale and lift your right leg over your left heel, pushing through your toes into the ground. We want to drop our right hip towards the ground, opening up the outside of our left hip. Stay here with your breath. And on your next inhale, rebend into the right knee, returning to a neutral tabletop. Exhale. Inhale, straighten the left leg. And exhale, send your left toes over your right ankle, planted on the ground to the side. Dropping the left hip off towards your mat to open up a stretch in the outer right hip. On your next inhale, rebend into the left knee, return to a neutral tabletop. Exhale. And inhale, pick your right foot up off your mat and plant it in between your hands at the top of your mat. Make an adjustment to make sure that your knee is not over your toes here. So scoot your toes forward perhaps. And inhale and reach your right hand up towards the sky for a low lunge twist. Add some circles into your wrists as you reach towards the sky. Releasing any tension you may be holding in those hips and sinking them closer to the mat. Find circles in the opposite direction if you haven't already. And once you feel balanced out in your wrists, return your right hand onto your mat and exhale and straighten out your right leg for a runner's lunge. Find some deep breaths here. Perhaps you tuck your chin in towards your chest. Relax your neck. On your next inhale, rebend into the right knee and plant your hands on either side of your right foot. Exhale and send the right leg back for a neutral tabletop. And inhale, pick the left leg up, send it towards the top of your mat. Make any adjustments so that your ankle is in line with your right or with your left knee. And on your next inhale, reach your left hand up towards the sky for a low lunge twist. Here we're going to add the arms or the wrist circles in. So going one direction and the other. Sinking your hips closer to the mat. Take a deep breath in, reaching through that left hand. And as you exhale, plant the left hand onto your mat and send the left leg back Inhale and tuck your toes underneath you. And as you exhale, lift your knees off your mat, sending your hips up towards the sky for a downward dog. It's our first downward dog of the class, so take a moment here and get adjusted. To make a more comfortable pose here, you can widen your stance by putting your feet towards the edges of your mat and your hands towards the edges of your mat. Or to make the pose more difficult, simply find the opposite, narrowing the feet, narrowing the hands. I'm going to stay in a neutral downward dog. Maybe you lengthen into one leg, bending into the other, stretching into the backs of the legs. We want our gaze looking towards our feet and are sending our hips up toward the sky and back towards our heels. Really imagine your lower back lengthening in this process. On your next inhale, lift the right foot up towards the sky, straight in the sky for a one-legged dog. And exhale, stay here. Drop the right hip towards the mat to square off the hips. On your next inhale, take a deep breath in. And exhale, plant the right foot in between the hands. On the next inhale, bring the left leg to meet the right. And exhale for a forward fold. Here, let your head hang low. And stay here with your breath. Imagine your feet as having 4 corners, from your big toe to your pinky toe to either sides of your heels, and pushing your weight evenly through all 4 of those corners. We're going to inhale, grounding through our feet through all 4 corners, and slowly rise up to standing at your own pace. And last, bring your hands up over your head, reaching towards the sky. And exhale, cactus the arms, bending at a 90-degree angle. Inhale, reaching up towards the sky. And exhale, bring your hands on either sides of your hips with your palms facing forward for a classic mountain pose. Stay here with your breath. Option to close your eyes for an added balance challenge. Here, I want you to tuck your hips in closer to your belly button. On your next breath in, can you soften in the shoulders? And exhale, engage your core, feeling your belly button knit closer into your spine. On your next inhale, shift your weight into your right foot and pick up your left foot off your mat, bringing your knee to the hip height. And as you exhale, plant the left foot towards the back of the mat for a warrior 1. Inhale, bring your arms up towards the sky. And exhale, widen the arms, almost as if you are holding a large ball in the air. Stay here with your breath. We have our right foot facing forward and our left foot at a diagonal. Gaze up towards the sky, lengthening into our arms. Let's inhale, bring the arms up towards the sky. And exhale, turn the left foot to a 90-degree angle to the side for warrior 2. Bending into the front leg, maybe you adjust your stance a little bit so your knee is over your ankle. Front leg bent, back leg straight. Gaze over your right middle finger for warrior 2. Soften in the shoulders here. Can you tuck your pelvis underneath you in towards your belly button? On your next inhale, lean over your right foot,
flip the palm, and exhale, bring the right hand up towards the sky for a reverse warrior. Here your left hand finds the back of your left thigh. Soften in the shoulders, gaze is up towards the sky. Are you staying here with your breath and being mindful of your thoughts? Take a deep breath in, reaching with that right hand. And as you exhale, plant the right forearm on top of the right knee and reaching the left arm up towards the sky for a side angle. If you'd like, you can reach the left hand at more of a diagonal for an extended side angle. And here, bring some weight out of that right forearm by engaging your left side body. Soften in the shoulders. Reaching with that left hand. Can you reach an inch or two more? Take a deep breath in. And exhale, return to warrior two with arms out to a T. Gaze towards your right middle finger. Take a deep breath in, reaching up towards the sky, straightening into your right leg. Toes pointing forward, and exhale, bend into the left knee for a wide-legged squat, bringing your hips all the way towards your left heel. Option to have your hands at heart center here, or if it's more comfortable, you can have your hands on the ground. Stay here with your breath. If your hands are on the ground, try to have your chest lifted up, or you can bring yourself all the way onto your forearms for an even deeper stretch. We're releasing any tension we're holding in our legs. And really opening up into that left hip. On your next inhale, plant your hands on the ground if they haven't already and walk them towards your right leg. On your next inhale, lift the right leg up off the ground and return it to your left foot. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly lower all the way onto your mat. Untuck your toes, pushing through the tops of your feet. Adjust your hands so they're directly underneath your shoulders. Elbows are trying to find each other at the back. Inhale and lift your chest up, squeezing your shoulder blades together and down your back. For baby cobra, exhale. 2 more. We're going to inhale, pushing through the tops of our feet and the pelvis, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and exhale. 1 more time. Can you go higher than you did before? Inhale for a cobra pose, squeezing our shoulders together, and exhale, return to your mat. Tuck your toes underneath you. Inhale and push yourself up through a plank or a tabletop position. And exhale, send your hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up towards the sky. And exhale, square the left hip off, dropping the left hip towards the mat. Inhale. And exhale, plant the left leg in between the hands. Right leg to meet the left for a forward fold. Staying here for a moment. Stay here with your breath. Relaxing any tension you may not have known you were holding. Grounding through all 4 corners of your feet. Inhale, slowly roll up to standing. Reaching up towards the sky. And exhale, cactusing the arms to the side. Inhale, up towards the sky. And exhale, Bring your hands to either sides of your hips, palms facing forward for mountain pose. Stay here with your breath. Option to close the eyes for an added balance challenge. Can you feel your weight grounding through your feet? Slight bend in the knees. Pelvis is tucked underneath us. Core engage. And can you feel your heart opening up towards the sky? Shift your weight into your left foot and inhale. Slowly pick your right foot up off the ground, bringing your knee in line with your hip. And exhale, plant the left foot towards the back of the mat. Inhale, arms come up for warrior one. And exhale, widen the arms out as if you're holding a giant ball in the sky. Stay here with your breath. Relaxing into the shoulders. Inhale, bring the arms up towards the sky. And exhale, arms come out to a T, right foot out at 90 degrees for your warrior two. Soften in the shoulders, gaze over your left middle finger. Is your left knee directly over your left ankle and your right knee out straight behind you? We're going to inhale and shift our weight over our left foot, flip the palm up towards the sky. Exhale, reach the hand towards the sky for a reverse warrior. Our right hand meets the back of our right thigh. Our gaze is up through our left palm. Inhale, reach a little bit more with that left hand. And as you exhale, plant the left forearm on the left knee, reaching up towards the sky with the right hand. Option to find an extended side angle by reaching the right hand more at a diagonal. And wherever you are, can you bring some weight out of that left forearm by engaging your core and staying here with your breath. On your next inhale, lift your left forearm off your left knee, arms out to a T for warrior two. Exhale. Take a deep breath in, straighten to the left leg, reach up towards the sky with your arms, and exhale, bend into the right knee for a side squat. Make any adjustments that you need here. Hands are either at heart center or placed on the mat below you. Option to bring yourself onto your forearms for a deeper stretch. Release any tension you've been holding in your hips and simply let your right hip sink in towards your right heel. Staying with your breath. On your next inhale, bending into the left knee, walk your hands towards your left foot. Come to a low lunge. Exhale. Inhale, lift your left leg up and bring it back towards your right. And exhale, slowly lower all the way onto your mat. Adjust your hands so they're directly under your shoulders. We're going to find 3 cobras. Either find a baby cobra with your chest slightly lifted or a full cobra. So with me, we're going to inhale, chest up for cobra or baby cobra. And exhale, return onto your mat. Inhale, lift up, pushing through your pelvis, pushing through the tops of your feet. And exhale, return. Last one. Inhale, squeezing the shoulders together and down our back. And exhale. Replant your hands and push yourself up through a tabletop or a plank. And send your hips up and back as you exhale for downward dog. As you inhale, pick your right foot up off towards the sky, bending into the right knee. Stack your hips on top of each other, opening up that right hip. Breathe here. Can you feel your right hip opening up and into your stomach, stretching all the way into that right side body? Take a deep breath in, enjoying that stretch. And exhale, plant your right foot in between your hands, dropping the left knee onto the mat, untucking the left toes so the left foot, the left top of your foot is in towards the mat. Here, make an adjustment so that your right knee is not hovering over your right toes. We're going to plant our left hand on the mat, pick the right hand up, and reach towards the left heel. If you have it in your practice, you would find your foot with your hand. But maybe you're like me, and this is simply enough of a stretch for that left hamstring. Stay with your breath, breathing through the stretch. Wherever you are is exactly where you're meant to be. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, lower the left foot, lower the right hand, and send the right foot back towards the left for a tabletop position. We're going to inhale, bring the big toes together, knees out to the side, come to a child's pose. Rest your forehead on your mat, and just find a relaxing breath. Sink your hips in closer towards your heels, lengthening into that lower back. On your next inhale, pushing through your hands, come back up through a tabletop. Tuck your toes underneath you and push your hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Adjust your stance however you'd like. We're going to inhale, bringing the left leg up towards the sky, bend into the left knee, and stack the hips on top of each other for that left hip opener. Stay here with your breath. Opening up that left hip. Inhale. And on your next exhale, plant the left foot in between your hands. Drop the right knee onto the mat and make an adjustment so that your left knee is directly over your left ankle. We're going to pick the left arm up, reaching it back, lift the right leg up. And wherever you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. Stretching into that right hamstring. Take one more deep breath in and stay for the exhale. Inhale and lower your foot and your hand onto the mat. And exhale, send the left leg back for a tabletop position, bringing your big toes together, knees out to the side. Sink your hips back onto your heels for a child's pose.
resting your forehead on your mat. Take the deepest breath that you have taken all practice. Maybe your eyes flutter close if they haven't already. And on your next inhale, pushing through your hands, come back up to a tabletop. Bring your knees underneath you and swing your legs out wide. We're going to maneuver ourselves onto our back. However you want to get there is great. Center yourself on your mat and bring your heels towards your pelvis, almost as close so your fingertips can touch. With our palms pressed onto our mat, we're going to inhale, pushing through our feet and our hands. Lift your hips up towards the sky for a bridge. And exhale, stay for the bridge. Think about having your core and your hips like a board, like a piece of wood, as straight as they can go. On your next inhale, can you push your hips a little bit higher up, squeezing your glutes? And exhale, slowly lower all the way down. See how slow you can go. Once you're all the way lowered, lift your feet off the mat and have your hands find the outside edges of your feet for a happy baby. Take some deep breaths in this happy baby stretch. One deep breath in here. And exhale, release your hands and your feet, let your legs go long. Inhale, bring your right knee in towards your chest. Bring your hands to the outside of your right knee. And exhale, pull the right knee closer to your right shoulder. Can you keep your shoulders on your mat here? Take a deep breath in, pulling the knee in. And as you exhale, let go of the knee and bring it over your body onto your left side for a supine twist. Maybe your left hand rests on top of your left knee. And maybe your right arm reaches out as a counterbalance. Maybe it finds a cactus. Whatever you'd like to do in this moment, I encourage you to listen. On your next inhale, bring the right knee in towards the chest. Give it one more squeeze before letting go. And on your next inhale, bring the left knee in towards your chest. Hands find the outside of the left knee and hug it in towards your left shoulder. As you exhale, make sure that your shoulders are close to your mat here and they're not creeping up towards your knee. Inhale, bring the left knee closer to the left shoulder. And on the exhale, release the hands and bring the left knee over to the right side for a supine twist. Maybe the right hand rests on top of the left knee and the left arm reaches out as a counterbalance. Whatever you'd like to find in this pose, I encourage you to. On your next inhale, bring the left knee in towards your left shoulder. Give it one more hug in. And exhale, release the left knee.
Now is the time to find any shapes that you'd like to enter practice with. As a recovery class today, I personally would like to practice my wheel. What that looks like, I'll lead you through it. But if you don't have this in your practice, I encourage you to find the bridge pose that we did earlier. The bridge will look like this. And for the wheel, we're going to have our heels in towards our pelvis and bring your palms on either side of your head with your fingers facing towards your toes. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, pushing through your hands, pushing through your feet, push yourself all the way up for a full bridge or a wheel pose. Make any adjustments that you'd like. Maybe you find stillness, maybe you find movement. My gaze is towards my hands. And when you're ready, slowly lower yourself onto your back. And maybe you find a ball here to counterbalance that movement of your spine. Find any last minute shapes that you'd like, and when you're ready, bring your legs out long and your hands out long, palms facing up to encourage any receiving. For our final pose, we find a corpse pose, a Savasana. I encourage you to flutter your eyes closed. Once again, I'd like you to focus on your breath. Take a slow, deep, long breath in. And an even slower, even deeper breath out. Invitation to imagine a warm, glowing ball of energy resting right over your toes. And you can feel some warmth in your toes here. And as you take these deep breaths in, it's almost like your breath is adding to this glowing ball, making it warmer, making it bigger. And with each breath, soon it expands and reaches over the tops of your feet, over the arches of your feet, and into your heels. Your next breath has the ball reaching just at the bottom of your calves, and you feel those calves softening. It goes over your calves and into the backs of your knees, over the tops of your knees. You feel the warm ball reaching up through your thighs, and your thighs are softening as they go. The ball reaches just to the base of your pelvis, and as it travels further, you feel your hips melt in closer to your mat. By now, maybe the ball has reached the very tips of your fingers, and you can feel those warmth. The warm ball of air reaches over your fingers, up into your wrists, just as it reaches your lower back. It's now going over the arch of your lower back, and it's fixed in the space between your back and your mat, almost like a heating pad. And you feel some tension releasing that you didn't even know you were holding back there. Almost as if the space between each vertebrae is being filled with this warm ball of air. You feel the warm air reaching over your forearms and through your elbows, up through your biceps and into your shoulders. Just as the warm ball of air is now filling deep into your lungs. And with each breath in, you feel your chest expand with this warmth and filling up your heart center. And as you exhale, you feel your heart pumping this warm ball of air all the way through your body. As the warm ball of air gets larger, it creeps up through your collarbones and over your shoulders, almost like a massage. The very tops of your shoulders are right where they meet your neck, and you feel a softening in that area, which has been hardened through the day. The warm ball of air travels up towards your throat, and you can feel it warm up your vocal cords, almost like you're humming. And just as it reaches the base of your head, it finally reaches the muscles of your jaw, which come to a very soft point. Finally, the warm ball of air is reaching your tongue and your lips. And your next inhale through your nose, you can feel that warm ball of air traveling in through your nose and into your lungs. The warm ball of air has now traveled over the back of your head, touching every bit of hair that you may have, until it goes over your eyebrows and softens the space between your eyebrows, until finally the warm ball of air rests on the top of your head. Your entire body is now fully submerged in this warm ball of air. And just as the warm ball of air warms you up, you feel yourself warming up the air around you. Take your time with this Savasana. Whenever you're ready, begin to invite some gentle movements into your fingertips and your toes. If you'd like, you can stay in your Savasana as long as you'd like. Or with me, you can bring some larger movements into your wrists and your ankles until you feel ready to bend into your legs and plant your hands on the ground. Roll over to one side and push yourself up to a seated position. Whatever seated position that may be, place your palms on your knees. Maybe you close your eyes. Clear your breath. We're going to take a deep breath in together. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. And exhale. 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. My name is Amy, and thank you so much.